And that, of course, could strike a lot of concern for folks who live in the area, not just in the French Quarter, but around the city, if in fact that there was an accomplice or there's someone else out there. We're going to check back in with our Winston Reed now, who is live on the scene. He's been out there all morning, got out there pretty quickly after this happened, and he has just been filtering through so much information. Winston, good morning to you again.
Good morning. I'm here at the corner of Royal and Iberville, and as things are developing, we should keep our focus on the investigation revolving around that explosive device. I just seen a New Orleans bomb detection vehicle make its way through Iberville here in the French Quarter, and look behind me. This is part of the French Quarter that is now blocked off surrounding Bourbon Street, and law enforcement is asking that everyone avoid Bourbon Street and the areas around Bourbon Street throughout the day. But yet the explosive device that was mentioned by the federal agent earlier this morning, it is currently under investigation. The investigation in itself, this entire investigation, is taken over by the FBI. However, that explosive device is something to be focused on, and because it's ongoing, and we don't know to what extent it's going to have an impact on this immediate area here in the Bourbon Street and French Quarter area. So just wanted to give you guys a visual of what I'm seeing. You're looking at law enforcement agents further down Royal Street, staying posted on the nearby streets alongside Bourbon. Again, law enforcement is asking everyone to avoid Bourbon Street throughout the day as the investigation continues and develops. And again, that explosive device that was mentioned earlier this morning from federal investigators, that investigation is continuing to develop. I did see a New Orleans bomb squad detection vehicle make its way down the Iberville street. So we're working to see how that unfolds and where that plays into all of this as well, in terms of this terroristic attack that the federal law enforcement agency is now using that term, terrorism, something that they refrained from earlier this morning, but now city officials and federal agents are now using the term terrorism as it relates to this investigation, where someone drove a vehicle through Bourbon Street, killing 10 people and injuring at least 35 others, as well as shooting 2 police officers who were treated for their injuries earlier today. Reporting live from the French Quarter, Winston Reed, WWL, Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm glad you talked about that improvised explosive device possibly found, because that was just something that was just kind of casually mentioned in that news conference from earlier this morning.
And for the record, Winston, you tried to press investigators on the extent to which they had any more information on that IED. Talk to us about that.
Well, we were told that Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick, the mayor, as well as the federal agent were not going to answer any questions following that briefing. But as journalists, we can't help but to ask questions, and we were left with more questions after they provided that briefing. And the federal agent did mention the explosive device, but not in detail. And I wanted her to elaborate what's the extent of this investigation related to this device, and where was it found? To what, is it still active? These are questions that we needed to know. At the time, we didn't even get information on the actual suspect, who they were calling a terrorist, and we didn't even know if terrorism itself was the right word to use, because both the federal agent and Mayor Cantrell were making contradicting statements. So we needed more clarification on that explosive device earlier, and we're hoping to get even more information later this morning during the 11 a.m. briefing set to be held at the NOPD headquarters.
All right, Winston Reed, one of the first reporters live on scene this morning, minutes after 3:30 this morning, has been there asking the questions that need to be answered. We do appreciate your work.
Especially since that can become a much bigger piece of this puzzle,
Exactly.
depending on what comes out of this investigation.